Good morning, Connections. Glad you're here. We're talking about the mission field. To get an idea of what it's going to be like to live in the mission field, to choose a life that reflects God's love, to choose a life where we remain in the light so that all can see our lives transformed and make a choice to follow Jesus as you and I have. We have the example from Matthew 10, and that's where we've spent a good amount of time over the last couple of weeks now, where Jesus is sending out the disciples into the mission field for them to have a taste of it before he hands the baton, and it's their mission as the church from that point forward. So one of the things that Jesus wants to make sure that the disciples know and wants to make sure that you know is that there's going to be distractions. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors and all kinds of things that you'll find in the mission field to draw you away from your mission, to distract you from their focus on God and seeking and saving the lost. So that's our topic for today, is distractions, and one of the major distractions is fear. So Matthew 10, starting in 26. But don't be afraid of those who threaten you, for the time is coming when everything that is covered will be revealed, and that all that is secret will be made known to all. What I tell you now in the darkness, shout abroad when daybreak comes. What I whisper in your ear, shout from the housetops for all to hear. So we've spoken of that everything is brought into the light. But of course, in the mission field, there's a resistance. There's a desire to keep everything covered. And if we can be drawn off our mission, caught up in fear and afraid to shine the light in the darkness, allow our light to be dampened, then we're not going to achieve everything that God intended us to achieve. So God is encouraging us, reminding us that we have a mission. He's reminding us of his greatness and that it is his plan and that he is sovereign and there is nothing that will stand in the way of his plan coming to fruition. No matter what the world says, the devil has been defeated. Now it is time to bring as many as we can into the kingdom. Don't get distracted by fear. Jesus continues in 28, don't be afraid of those who want to kill your body. They cannot touch your soul. Fear only God, who can destroy both soul and body in hell. What is the price of 2 sparrows? 1 copper coin? But not a single sparrow can fall to the ground without your Father knowing it. And the very hairs on your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid. You are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows. What distracts us when we move into the mission field, what distracts us even before we have taken that step of faith to move out into the mission field, is a sense that the devil is winning, that the powers of darkness have overcome the light and there is no victory. God wants to make sure that we remain focused on him, that he is the only one that we need to be concerned about. Keep your eyes upon me. I am the one that controls everything. Do what I have asked you to do, knowing that you are important to me. We all know the distraction of that fear that comes along when we step out in faith and it feels like we're on an island. We look around and you scan the mission field and say, is there anyone listening? Is there anyone that can be saved? Is there anyone that will follow? We need to stay on mission, accomplish what God has called us to accomplish, and trust in Him, keeping our eyes focused above and not caught up in distractions and fear and the things that would rob us of our very purpose. So what's the point? What's the biggest distraction in your life? 2, what steps will you take to become less distracted? And 3, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you trust God? Again, these questions are purposed to help kind of get below that surface, get below the I'm fine and everything's great. Highly blessed and favored, my brother. Be honest, first and foremost, with yourself. Then be honest with God and perfectly willing to share your struggles with those that are on this journey with us. That's the challenge ahead. Don't get distracted. I'll see you back here tomorrow. We're moving towards the end of Matthew 10 in our study. We have a few more stops before we get there. Please know that I love you and I miss you. Looking forward to seeing you as soon as possible. Until then, be good.